You're watching First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW and live on YouTube with Lauren Munt and weather with Tom Tiefertiller.
Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us tonight at 9 on the CW. I'm Lauren Munt, and this weekend, August 31st, will be 5 years since the mobile mass shooting that killed 7 people and wounded dozens of other West Texans. To bring the community together to remember the victims, UTBB lit for a special sunset service. The BrightStar Memorial will remain open to the community to honor those affected by the 2019 shooting. Today, the city of Odessa, UTBB, Odessa Arts, and many other organizations are gathering to light up the BrightStar Memorial in honor of the victims. Edwin Peregrino, Raul Garcia, Joe Griffith, Mary Granados, Cameron Brown, Rodolfo Arco, Layla Hernandez, and over 20 others who were injured. On Saturday, August 31st, 2019, a shooter driving around Odessa wreaked havoc on the community. Law enforcement put an end to the tragedy, killing the shooter after a chase down Highway 191 in Odessa. In the wake of tragedy, Odessa Strong became the mantra for everyone in our community and across the country. At UTPB, the BrightStar Memorial was created to remember the 2019 mass shootings. Work for the display began just days after the shooting happened. Now, 5 years later, the final piece has been revealed. And as you can see, it's made up of 11 feet of copper with the names of the victims and words of hope engraved. And tying the whole piece together is a light in the center, making up that bright star. The memorial shares the message that art can heal.
It's a very somber and reflective piece, but I think having light shining out and emanating in all directions is a symbolic way of saying, you know, we try to find the light within no matter what.
Don't be in a rush. Make sure you've got plenty of personnel and plenty of coverage. We don't need to rush up on this.
After the 2019 mobile mass shooting rocked the West Texas community, local leaders turned to art.
Following the shooting, our family has really tried to focus on that message of hope, of sharing God's light. And so I'm just so thankful that we have this memorial now in our community that we can all come together and gather around, and will be that physical reminder of light in our community.
And when West Texas put out a call for an art piece that would bring solace to the community, the nation answered.
We had over 100 artists from across the United States apply for this commission. And artist Jim Sanborn had the best design, and we knew the minute we saw that that's what we wanted to do.
It was a very dark time, but through it, you know, we're shining. We're being that light in the darkness.
Everyone can find healing and beauty, and so to have such a beautiful beacon of light and hope in our community is a way that we can come together and we can just continue to heal after something that was so tragic.
When you talk about the entire day, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around this concept. I mean, and when you put individual names and faces, it makes it more personal. And these were all our brothers and sisters in the community, and it's important to remember that.
The BrightStar Memorial is not the only art that's helping the community. In the days after the shooting, West Texans were feeling helpless, empty, and confused.
My mind was just full of chaos, and I needed something to relate to.
And some turned to art to help fill that hole.
It's bittersweet because you can tell that a lot of pain and anguish went into that piece, but the result is hopefully some comfort to the families.
And the Bright Star, it intends to bring that same comfort.
I hope that we did them proud by the way that we put all of this together.
The BrightStar Memorial will remain open to the community to honor those affected by the 2019 shooting.
This will be a place that people can sit, they can reflect, they can pray, and that they can remember how strong our community is, how vibrant it is, and the bright light that Odessans shine.
In times of strife and hurt, people turn to the arts for comfort. And for us to be able to do this was our way of adding something to the healing of the community.
ECISD employees and students wore the color yellow today at school to honor the people who were impacted by the August 31st mobile mass shooting. Take a look. Students and staff say that wearing the color yellow has brought the school district closer together to honor the victims. One of the victims, Layla Hernandez, was a student at Odessa High. As the time goes by, ECISD wants to remind the community that they will continue to show support.
District, this is one of the ways that we pay tribute to those individuals that we lost, because again, it impacted everyone in our community, unfortunately, in some way, form, or fashion. And so for us, it's a way to really reflect, take time to remember those individuals and really honor them, that although they might be gone, they're never going to be forgotten.
Yellow flags have been planted at Memorial Gardens Park in Odessa, and they will stay up throughout the entire weekend. Midland, Odessa had some rain this evening. You're looking at the sunset from Ratliff Stadium, where sports director Jair Brooks Davis is at the Odessa High School football game. But that game has been in a weather delay nearly all evening. Jair tells us the game nearly started once, but it was put back on a delay. This is the first game of the season for the Broncos. They're hosting the Amarillo Sandies. Both of these teams battled last year, but the Broncos got the win 36-35. This will be Eric Hartman's first game as head coach for the Odessa Broncos.
You know, Amarillo has a pretty good run game, and they can throw the ball also. So, you know, they're pretty versatile on those different aspects. And so, just make big stops on defense, and then again make big plays on offense. I mean, that's what we want offensively is to score touchdowns.
Let's take a look at our weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom, that game might be in a lightning delay a little longer, right?
That's exactly right, because they're seeing lightning to storms off to the south as they're bringing those anvil crawlers across the sky, and that's going to continue at least for the next 30 minutes or so. Even though we've seen a decrease in the lightning activity, as we take a look at the First Alert 7 live radar, seeing what caused all this, we had showers and thunderstorms form up just south of the Midland, Odessa area. A lot of lightning associated with that. Well, that has pushed off to the south and southeast and in decreasing in a lot of intensity. Still some areas of light rain across the Midland, Odessa area at the present time, but the bulk of the activity is pushed down into Upton County, and we are seeing a few lighter showers down around the Alpine area. Rainfall amounts today, so far 1/100th out of the Midland National Area and Spaceport. Trace amounts across Midland and Odessa, 37/100. So the big winner today in and around the Andrews area. Seen some heavier rain. And 6/100ths out towards the Wink area. Temperatures have cooled off quite a bit into the 70s thanks to the rain showers that are ongoing, but not seeing the lightning quite like we were across the area. Wind gusts still up to 20 miles an hour, occasionally up to 33 now out at the Midland National Air and Spaceport. We're going to see a lot of the thunder shower activity wind down here over the next hour or so, and looking at pretty quiet conditions in our forecast overnight tonight as temperatures will settle into the lower 70s.
Thank you, Tom. We're talking some public safety news now. Representative Brooks Landgraf gave an update on the Permian Basin container fire cleanup on his Facebook page. It said that this week, Landgraf and the TCEQ went to Permian Basin containers. And the TCEQ told the remediation crew that cleanup needs to be happening faster and that the remaining burned out structures on site need to be demolished. According to the Post, TCEQ states that the cleanup crews have taken action to minimize runoff from any firefighting operations. Soil in the surrounding area is being staged for disposal, and crews continue to dig around impacted fence lines. Runoff water pits are still being dumped out, and TCEQ has also required the site owner to submit a full remediation plan by this coming Friday. You'll remember this week, 20 Odessans filed a lawsuit against Permian Basin containers for gross negligence. You can read about that up on firstalert7.com. And a victim has died after becoming trapped in a fire in Howard County yesterday. According to the Post by the Howard County Volunteer Fire Department, first responders were called to a structure fire on J Road in the Tubbs Addition, where a victim was reported trapped inside. With assistance from Big Spring Fire Department, firefighters were able to quickly contain the fire, but the person who was trapped did not survive. And according to the city of Midland, a Midland County resident has contracted West Nile virus. West Nile virus is passed to humans when they are bitten by mosquitoes that have fed on infected birds. This disease cannot be spread person to person. The city of Midland sent a news release that included the following symptoms: headache, fever, muscle and joint aches, nausea, and fatigue. If people have symptoms and suspect West Nile virus infection, they should contact their healthcare provider and inform them of previous mosquito exposure. With an increase in COVID infections across the country this summer, an updated vaccine is set to be introduced this fall. According to the CDC, this summer's COVID wave was due to one of the flirt variants, which has been spreading since early spring. Last week, a new vaccine to fight against the latest version of the COVID-19 virus was updated and approved by the Food and Drug Administration. One version from Moderna, one from Pfizer. For Americans with underlying medical conditions, keeping up with the vaccinations is a critical step as the virus continues to evolve. The CDC still recommends that everyone 6 months and older get the updated vaccine as soon as possible.
It makes about 26 changes in its genetic code every year. So 4 years. So you've got about 100 letters different from that original one. Each one of those letters has a chance to change the proteins in the virus, and therefore our immune system can't recognize them.
You can contact your local health department for vaccination information. We've got a traffic alert for you now. Eastbound 191 will be diverted to the frontage road at the Faudree Road exit starting tonight. That happened at 8 o'clock, and it'll last until 5 a.m. tomorrow. The on-ramp east of Billy Hex will also be closed during this time. They're making repairs on the 191 detour for the ongoing Yukon Road project. Eastbound traffic can re-enter the 191 main lanes about 2 miles east of Faudree Road. Another update, Midland County is moving forward on plans for a new building for multiple of its departments that currently operate in different buildings. All 4 justices of the peace, the death investigators, medical examiners, and the warrant services will soon all be in the new building. It's located where the old Salvation Army was. The county bought that site and tore down the building to start from scratch. County Judge Terry Johnson says moving the departments from separate buildings to one will help the county workers and the public.
And it'll be more convenient for folks, the public, who need to go visit a JP. Right now, they don't know which location to go to. It can be confusing. With them in one building, you go to that one building, you find which JP you need to talk to at that one building.
This whole project will cost around $20 million, and as soon as the county awards a bid, construction will start. The county judge expects that will take about 18 months, and it'll open during 2026. And big news for football fans across the Permian Basin. UTBB is celebrating their historic Lone Star Conference Championship, the university's 50th anniversary, by making all Falcon football home games free for the community. But that's not all. Tailgating at both Ratliff Stadium and Astound Stadium will also be free. Tailgating setup begins at noon on a first-come, first-served basis. For those who want a prime tailgating spot, UTBB is also offering reserved spaces for the entire football season. In addition to that, there will also be a kids' corner, a DJ, food, drinks, shopping vendors, and even more.
It's football time again. We play this Saturday at 6 p.m. Free admission, free tailgate. I'd love for everybody in Odessa, Midland to come out, enjoy the show, and obviously have fun, but be responsible with the tailgating.
Now, general tailgating will still be allowed at the back of the parking lot, but if you want a prime tailgate spot, information on how to reserve one is up on our website, firstalert7.com. Coming up, learn more about how Permian Basin youth can learn about the federal government, straight from Congressman August Lugar. That's next. United States Representative August Pfluger has announced the return of the Congressional Youth Advisory Council. It'll be for the third year. The SIAC offers students an opportunity to engage with government, to collaborate with peers, and serve their communities. All high school juniors and seniors in the Texas 11th Congressional District can apply. They'll have a chance to interact directly with Congressman Pfluger, and they'll receive special admittance to the Pfluger Youth Leadership Conference that's scheduled for next spring.
One of the objectives is to train the next generation, to arm them with leadership skills, to have them be ready when they go to college or start in the workforce or whatever their next steps are going to be.
The deadline to apply is September 13th. To find out more information on where to apply, visit this story on our website, firstalert7.com.
A little thunder shower activity starting to pass south into the southern Permian Basin, south of Midland and Odessa. With more being the forecast. We'll talk about that with a cold front coming up next.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, as we take a look at the First Alert 7 live radar once again, seeing a lot of the thunder shower activity really starting to wind down. A lot of the lightning is moving down into portions of Upton County around the Midkiff area and down State Highway 349. We're dealing with scattered showers and thunder showers, but again, they're on a downward trend. So we're still going to see flashes of lightning and visible across the Midland, Odessa area, but just know that most of it's off to the southeast, well to the southeast by 15 miles or so. And a few lighter rain showers around Alpine and Marathon, really about it. A few raindrops still right across the Midland, Odessa area, so there's still some light rain out there and a little bit of lightning as we just saw, with temperatures into the lower 70s now, cooling off a little bit. Still hanging on to 80 over towards Midland Air Park, 73 in Monahans, where they picked up some rain from thunderstorms moving across again this evening. Now, weather makers showing a big storm system across the northern plains is swinging a cold front down into portions of the Texas Panhandle. That, combined with a lot of monsoonal moisture kicking off the showers and thunder showers, will continue to be the case for tomorrow, as we're expecting more in the forecast. But again, now that we've lost the daytime heating, we're on a downward trend with a lot of the showers and thunder showers at the present time. Temperatures across the state today, some hot spots like Laredo up to 100 degrees, but most areas staying into the 90s this afternoon. Taking a look at the futurecast, showing you that everything should be winding down shower-wise overnight tonight, but starting to pick back up towards tomorrow afternoon as that front starts to roll into the area. And again, we could be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers rolling across all the way through the evening hours. And then by Saturday, again, looking at a few more isolated showers and thunder showers in the forecast. So we're going to keep them around for the Labor Day weekend. Tonight, showers ending, thunder showers ending, lower 70s. And then tomorrow, right around 90 with scattered showers and thunder showers behind that front that's going to bring an east wind to the forecast. Next best chance of rain is going to be on Sunday with another cold front arriving late in the day. And some of that may linger into Monday. We'll call it about a 30% chance then. But then we'll see a downward trend on that and temperatures into next week.
Up next here at 9, the latest plan to clear student debt has been denied. We'll have the full details up next. There's been another setback for the Biden administration in its bid to lower student debt. The Supreme Court has decided, at least for now, that the latest multi-billion-dollar plan cannot take effect. But on CBS Mornings, the Education Secretary said despite these rulings, the Biden administration has forgiven over $170 billion for more than 5 million American borrowers. And the battle to keep going is not over.
The Supreme Court and lower courts also have rejected some of the plans, which we disagree with. But we're going to continue fighting for borrowers. There are millions of Americans right now that need a little bit of support. College debt shouldn't be a life sentence.
Critics say any plan to forgive student loan debt is unfair to millions who repaid their loans, and it's simply transferring the debt to taxpayers. Still ahead, sometimes cleaning out your garage could earn you a pretty penny. What one man found up next. right, Tom, before we go, some long-lost prints of renowned Spanish artist Salvador Dali were found in a London garage. An auction house official went to the home of a man who needed parts of his estate valued. But when the official went into the man's garage, he found 10 colorful Dali lithograph prints. Also discovered 5 prints from the French artist Theo Tobias. Teo Tobias. Is that what that says? Apparently the owner, I don't speak French, clearly.
No.
Apparently the owner bought the pieces some 50 years ago, but never got around to hanging them up. The auction house says the prints are worth several $1,000s. The collection goes up for auction September 30th.
You know, something everybody's got hanging out in their garage.
That's a
classic,
lot of
classic art, anyway. Interesting story there. For us, the interesting story has been the weather. Some rain finally across the area.
I got caught in it.
Yeah.
It was windy too, let me tell you. I almost blew away out there.
We had some wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour out of all that. The rain has moved off to the south. We're still seeing some of the lightning. Cold front arrives tomorrow, and that's going to push more scattered showers and thunder showers into our forecast. It looks like in the afternoon hours into the early evening. So we're keeping that in mind with area football games coming up for Friday, and then Labor Day weekend. Could be dodging a few more showers and thunder showers.
Probably lots more lightning delays tomorrow.
Probably so.
All right, thanks for joining us. First Alert News at 9. We've got more news coming up at 10.